Okay, so here is when we first got to the house. And I'm just kind of building a little bit of confidence and a little rapport with Sootie. So I'm just sitting on the ground, handing her cheese. I alternate from handing her cheese and tossing cheese because I want her to feel that she has the choice to create distance if the situation I have her in is a little too much for her. I don't want her to feel trapped. So I do a little bit of tossing and a little bit of handing, and she does great. She's very unsure. That's very clear, but she's responding to things. She's taking treats, and then after this, she went ahead and sniffed around, which was great. So I did have my daughter Edie come out at this time, and I just have her sitting like I am, and you can tell that Sootie's going a lot further back, since it's in like fast motion. This volume sounds crazy, so I actually turned the volume off. But at some points, she gave us a little, unsure low growls. Nothing alarming, just very like, I don't know, you guys. But we continued to do what we were doing, tossing cheese. Edie never got to the point where she handed her cheese. I just made sure Edie wasn't making a lot of eye contact and was trying to reach out to her and just tossing treats out. And she ate it each time, so we never got to the point where she was overwhelmed. But she's definitely unsure. But overall, she did great. So while we're sitting on the floor and not passing her cheese, she's sniffing around the house, smelling what's around, being curious and engaged. So I wouldn't really expect anything else from her. She did great. Okay, here she is meeting Penny. I know Penny's very rude. She's a little feistier these days, and she's kind of been recovering from her surgery. So all the barking is nonsense, but it's good to have that exposure to dogs being not so perfect. But they did great. She's interested in the toys and the bones, and she did really, really well. All right. Okay, so here is Sootie meeting my 5-year-old greyhound. She just pretty good.
Sootie. Good job.
Nothing really crazy.
job.
She's a little concerned about
Thanks, Twiggy.
Twiggy sniffing her right here, but she definitely hangs around and hung out with Twiggy fine the rest of the day, and there was no problems there. So she did great. All right, so this is the second time I have Edie come out, and this time Sootie's a little more relaxed with me, so I go ahead and sit a little closer to Edie, and we kind of just do some cheese. We do some cheese. We kind of just eat some cheese and hang out. Edie even partakes in the cheese a little bit, which is not ideal, but Sootie's patient and waits for her turn. But she did really, really well. She was a lot more comfortable. You can tell, her ears are more perky. She's a little more excited and curious to what we're doing versus being a little confused and nervous about what we're doing. She has no problem kind of just hanging around us. Edie's doing a really good job not staring at her or trying to pet her. And I think that, Sootie realized from the last time that she wasn't going to try to grab her, so she's a little more confident. But she does great. At one point here, she pops her little feet up on my leg, which was really cute to see. So she came out of her shell a lot. Now, obviously, if Edie was to touch her or run or jump, it might be a little too much, but I'm really proud that it's just the second time seeing Edith, and she's already really a lot more at ease. So here I have, Tim's walking back and forth here, but here I have Edith kind of stand and sit, so there's a little bit more movement on that part of it with the child without there being running and jumping and loud screams. But there's a little bit more movement instead of just her sitting still. And you can tell Sootie did great. She was a little like, oh, it's moving. But once she saw that she was just sitting and standing, and that while she's sitting and standing, she will be receiving cheese, she was perfectly fine with it. So we just did that a few times, and she did really well.
Good job, Sootie. Can you stand up again? Oh, it's okay. There you go. There you go. Can you find it? Good job, Sootie. Come here. Good job. Yay. Okay, you can sit, I guess. Oh, she's like, do you have cheese?
She really likes cheese.
She does. Good job, Sootie.